So we had a new housemate move into the van. I thought there was not going to be a lot of room, but in fact, there's actually a pretty decent amount of space. We can still use most of this stuff, so.
Coffee grinder.
The car grinds some coffee?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, right here.
It's ShopRite stuff, but it's good.
Specialty.
Some no-brain coffee.
It's coffee time. Where are we right now?
Rainbow Springs State Park, Florida.
Yeah.
Double on Florida. Whoa, looking at myself. Alright, let's go.
February 1st, 2021. I was in Brazil 72 hours ago. And now I'm in Florida with one of my best friends, Andy. And it's currently snowing in New York. And we're pretty lucky to be here.
Driving through Texas right now. I am cooking. I've been cooking up some veggies. Just cooking the huge, you know, the potatoes and eggs every morning. It's the tradition. I mean, I can welcome you to my crib. My name is John Branson. Brandon Johnson. Action Branson. This is Bailey, my 2019 Dodge Ram ProMaster. As you can see, we got the bedroom where all the magic happens between me and my beautiful partner here, Jordan Gonzalez. That's with the S before the Z, A-L-E-Z. Down below, our dresser. Right beside it, the hanging closet, which I've heard is a very luxury item. This is where we keep all of our dishes in our open face cabinet style pantry. This is our refrigerator, which is looking kind of scarce at the moment. If you haven't before, check out Rock Bottom Arts. That's a custom Playboy bunny designs. If you were wondering if my partner was a man, because her name is Jordan, she's not. She's actually a very pretty girl, identifying with she and her.
Thanks for the tour, dude.
Yeah, of course.
So we are in Del Rio, Texas right now, off of, what is that road, 90?
90.
Off of 90, it's pretty much the only road that comes in or out of this area of Texas. Me, Andy, and the cat were heading to Big Bend National Park yesterday. We were hauling ass, 2 days ago actually. And we were driving through the night pretty much. And
Burn my hair.
we arrived to Big Bend around midnight, which was pretty cool. We got to see the whole Milky Way. And then, about 5 minutes into parking up, Andy had realized
There was no cat. Like, we had lost the cat. I'm laughing about it now, but it was like actually like really fucked up, you know?
how far did we think we were from where we thought the cat was, and what time was it when we left?
Well, it took us a few minutes to get the van packed up and ready to go again, because we were like set up, like ready to chill, you know? We had beers cracked, we were just hanging out, looking at the stars. And then once we realized that the cat was missing, did a little backtracking, and like they say, everything's bigger in Texas, right? So we stopped for gas 2 times on the way to Big Bend, and one was 2 hours before, and the other was 4 hours before. So like 200 and something miles, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
And so turns out that, well, I'll tell the whole story.
Yeah.
I guess.
So we fucking were pretty much, we weren't sure if she got out at Big Bend, so we started freaking out, calling her name, shaking the cat treats. All right, there's no chance she's here. We would have fucking known, you know? So we packed the car up, we pull out like 10 feet, and Andy is like, Sean, I think you should stay here with the motorcycle in the middle of the fucking desert with
Well, I was getting ready to leave
coyotes
with like the
and
good
stuff.
sleeping bag, the motorcycle, my tent, all the stuff, like some food, everything that, you know, you would need.
So I decide, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm not leaving the unit. We gotta get this cat. It's midnight at this point. It's pitch black. The road into Big Bend is like a goddamn motorcycle track.
Yep.
Andy almost fucking sent us off it at one point.
Yep, we were hitting it hard.
We were adrenaline out. So we're on the road. We're crushing midnight. After driving all day, mind you.
Yep.
And maybe, about an hour in, we get pulled over by Border Patrol, because we are on the border of Mexico right now.
That was after we broke the water tank, too. So the water tank started
Oh, yeah,
leaking.
water tank broke. We pulled over for that, too. And then we got pulled over by 3 Border Patrol trucks at 2 a.m., something like that, 1 a.m.
Yeah, we're hauling it. I got the off-road lights on. We're on the road.
Oh,
Speed
yeah.
limit 75. I'm doing about 85. Just hauling, because we got hours ahead of us, you know? my mind's racing. I'm like, my poor cat. She's running, running loose in the middle of Texas. I was freaking.
And
there's nothing else you could do but drive. So I'm hauling. We get pulled over. 3 Border Patrol cars come up, pull us over. We're sitting on the side of the road. They start asking us questions. You got license, registration, all that. Give it to them. Now, we're not doing anything wrong. We are U.S. citizens here on the U.S. side of the border. Like, we're not doing anything wrong. Explain to them the story about the cat. And they basically just hold us on the side of the road for 30 minutes, right? Something like that. Just asking us questions, running information, asking us the same questions again. And I'm like, dude, my cat, like, can we go now? Like, so eventually they let us go, but it was weird. And
well, yeah, right as they're giving me my license back, the fucking guy looks at me and he goes, "Do you have any warrants for your arrest?" And I say, "No, sir." And he says, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he says, "You ever been arrested?" And I'm like, "No." And he just fucking starts laughing at me and then looks at my ID, looks at me, and then gives me my ID and he says, "Have a good night." And I thought that was really weird. Honestly, I looked at Andy after that and I was like, I thought I was going to Texas jail that night for some shit. I thought maybe I had a warrant for something I didn't know about. But I've never been arrested, so I don't know what that guy was talking about. All right, so then we get 2 hours to the first station, the closest one, no cat. We circle the whole area. We're like, all right, we knew in our hearts she was at the second station, so. Then I took over driving. We're driving through the night, man. Hail, the whole 9, fog. You can't see. We got the LED bar on. It's craziness. We get to the gas station, the second one. Dude, we're there 2 seconds. Fucking cat pulls right out, dude. She's there waiting for us. And that was the moment of relief. Like, we are idiots, but we found our cat. And then what happens next, Andy?
Well, then we go pass out for like 4 hours. And then
we went to bed at what, 9 a.m.?
No, 5 a.m. Woke up at 9.
Okay.
Then we're ready to drive.
So where are we going?
We're going back to Big Bend, baby. We're hitting the Big Bend. We're driving the 4 hours that we just drove back to get the cat back again to go to Big Bend, Texas, because all the people that we were hanging out with in Austin are over there now. So we were like, let's go. Start driving.
What, 20 minutes on the road?
Yeah, something like that. Driving down 90. And then all of a sudden I just hear like a pop in the van. And I'm like, oh no. And then all of a sudden it starts to just vibrate. And I'm like, oh man, that's not good. So pull over to the side of the road, we check it out. Don't really know what I'm looking for. And then I'm like, all right, let's find a shop, because I don't think this is getting any better, And so we're like limping it down the road, and what is there but a transmission shop just sitting there on the side of the road. And we're like, all right, because it's got to be something drivetrain related, because it's just, things don't just vibrate like that. And so we get to the transmission shop. The owner comes out. Orlando, he's the man. And takes the car for a test drive. And then we look underneath it, and it turns out that the entire tail shaft housing on the transmission had exploded, like a cartoon shotgun, like they stick a carrot in or something, like in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. And so that's not good. Obviously, we're not going to Big Bend. And so we're sitting there. Turns out he had to pull the transmission out of the van, and we're waiting on parts. And now we're just sitting here in Del Rio, waiting on parts. Cold front's coming in, of course, middle of Texas, and it's 25 degrees outside. And tomorrow, no, I think 2 days from now, it's going to have a low of 13 degrees and a high of 30. So here we are in a van that doesn't drive in the middle of Texas in a cold front. And luckily we're able to stay at next to the shop, which is pretty cool because we got power, water, cool people to talk to, but it's going to be cold and it's going to be boring. So that's where we're at right now. Mac and cheese is almost ready.
So that's been our little journey, but stay tuned. It should get more fun after we get back on the road. So we'll see you guys.